Alright, what's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the channel, Connor Unchained. So today, I'm going to just talk about a bunch of different stuff on the market. I've been dropping a lot of runes videos lately because, I've been loving runes so much lately. I think it's just so fun. It's very, very high risk. But, I want to jump into just, the overall market here. I'm just going to bring up a bunch of coins because, markets are kind of recovering. It's still in a up and down, phase, whatever you want to call it. But we do have a lot of projects, a lot of coins doing very well. BVM is definitely a really good project. I like this one a lot. In my opinion, this is a top infrastructure play for Bitcoin DeFi. I think to be getting into BVM, you're basically betting on all of Bitcoin DeFi, because they have a lot of infrastructure aiming at many different aspects. They even got an entire chain now for runes. They have a game that, assists mainly with gaming, one also with AI. You can build, Bitcoin layer 2s and use and take from different infrastructure, combine it together. From a developer's perspective, I don't know 100%, what that really entails, but from an investment standpoint, as a real utility project, I do like this a lot. And I think this is just a great long-term hold. Someone dumped a massive bag. Holy moly. But anyways, that's what we got. So BVM, definitely a top one. We just have seen Landwolf recently. This one's starting to move. This apparently the thought or thesis is it's Pepe's friend or best friend or something. I don't know how I feel about the whole Pepe meta. Pepe and friends. I think it's going to do insanely well long term. But I think they just have to have all these different ones across different chains. They got Pepe on ETH. Why you dropping other ones on ETH, bro? You got Brett on base, which again I think that's going to be key. If there's a good whatever, I don't know if there's more characters or anything like that. If another one drops on another chain, that starts to get more attention, that would be sweet. I think that would be a move. But, outside of some of this stuff, like I said, a lot of stuff's been moving, a lot of stuff happening. Market's just been recovering. We've seen, this was a new launch, Nuclei. I talked about this in a video. This is just I think it's a pretty cool project in my opinion. I'll link the video above so you guys can check it out. But chart looks good, came up, came down. Could be a potential entry, but not financial advice. Please do your research. Check this stuff out yourself before you jump into anything. But yeah, specifically I'm trying to keep this video not runes related, because I like to cover many different narratives, many different things, at the same time. But like I said, this is a new one, pretty interesting. You guys can check this out on Dex Screener. Just type in NAI as the ticker. Very interesting protocol. And I think we got Alex Becker talking about this one heavy, which I didn't even realize, but that's pretty bullish for it just in general. Even Runes Bridge too. This is another one I've talked about. I think I talked about it publicly, but I still don't think this is legit. I don't know how I feel about it. I don't think anyone should be jumping into this one, but I could be completely wrong. This could 5 to 10x, but I will gladly miss the boat here. I don't know if I like this project, because this one is, again, it's runes related, but the runes infrastructure I focus on heavy, is very Bitcoin based. It's not really on ETH, anything like that right now. But, that's kind of what we got here today. And we're just going to check the market as well, because we got Bitcoin, kind of just doing its thing. Still at 65. We just had the halving, so shout out to halving. Shout out to runes launching, because that's been really fun so far. But again, we've bounced multiple times up here. I would not be surprised to see if we do come down one more time for a final, dip, whatever you want to call it, for this part of the cycle, even if we move sideways for a little while, anything can happen, to be honest. It's crypto is high risk in itself, and you need to prepare for potential downside, because if you just jump in and you think that it's just going to go up, you're going to make 50x, in a week, it's not reality. You guys need to learn and understand to time the market and jump in, when the time is right, and understand that there will be downside before we see upside, worst case. Because this isn't like the stock market where, we can almost kind of predict that long term everything will go up. Crypto goes up and then it comes down for 2 years, goes up for a year and a half, down for another year or two. We're still in the up phase in a bull run. There will be dips, and these dips are heavy. They shake out many people. In my thesis, again, going into every bull run, I say every, but I've only been here for one other bull run. But it worked out in my favor the entire bull run last time, and that's what I've been doing this entire run as well, which is just holding. Allocate into the strongest coins that you can find. Build some conviction and believe in something. That is the most important thing in this market, because in my opinion, it's like if you want exposure to crypto, it's better to be in on certain coins, even if they're down, than to be sidelined, because you never know what's going to happen. If we all knew that, okay, Bitcoin in the next month is going up 52K, but then in 3 months it'll be at 79, and then 6 months from now it's going to be at 85K. If we all knew exactly what it was going to do and tried to time it, everyone would make money, right? But it's just getting exposure on dips, on good times, when we're still fairly early to a bull run, which I don't like to say that we're very early right now, because, we have been running up only for many months now. But I think if there is still some more downside to come, which, again, I would not be surprised to see, just continuously DCAing, adding to your top positions, that is how you're going to win in this bull run. So just a little bit of thought for you guys. This is going to be a fairly short video, because I have a lot of very specific videos coming up of different things. But, I still like to get as much content out as I can for you guys pretty much every day, maybe every other day. But, as far as right now, that's mainly what I got for you. I don't want to go in depth too much because, again, I have more videos going in depth with a lot of stuff. Well, we can check out runes too. So we got LumenX here. Again, goated platform. I love LumenX. And, again, if you guys aren't familiar, go watch some of the rune videos. There's even been some FUD or some talk about runes or something too. And I totally understand that. But in my opinion, it's very, very high risk to be in runes, in general, right? But I think it's very fun. And, I like teaching people. I want you guys to learn, because at the end of the day, I personally am in runes. I was in BRC20s because I love betting on the future of technology, and especially when you're talking about new tech on top of the mother chain, Bitcoin. I don't know how you can't be bullish on that, long term, even if there's a lot of technical issues, even if it's complex. Every single brand new tech started out the same way, started nearly impossible to even learn how to buy, how to sell. BRC20s, before they even had certain platforms, it was like using a computer in like the 1980s. No one had any idea what they were doing, me included. It took me a while to figure out and learn, but that's why I was early. That's why I got into certain things at good times, because, you bet on basically where the attention was not, and a lot of people were fudding it, they were hating it, but that is usually a key sign to be at least looking into it, jumping into stuff. And again, when you participate in runes, you don't have to ape, your entire life savings. You don't have to throw a crazy amount of money into this stuff, right? I really haven't risked a decent amount of capital at all. I've just been having fun minting a couple of things, seeing how they do, because my long-term thesis with runes is that this is going to be hype for a little while. I'm trying to get a lot of videos out while the hype is like this, because I know a lot of people are looking up how to do it. They need assistance, and I love doing that for everyone. But I think eventually Rune's hype is going to fade for a little while, but once that hype fades, over that span of time, whether it's a week, a couple of months, that will be absolutely key to finding some of the top meme coins that are on Bitcoin, right? If you guys are somewhat experienced in crypto or have seen my other videos, it's the same idea that comes across with everything. When the attention is there, it's going to be very high risk. When the attention is off something, but there are fundamentals to prove that, this is something that's here to stay. It's not going anywhere. Why wouldn't you be looking at, the same thing that was hot 2 weeks ago is not hot anymore? When everything is down, why are you not looking at the top stuff when things are down? Because once that flips back, once attention is back on Bitcoin, once it's back on Runes here, Bitcoin infrastructure, what do you think is going to move? Yeah, it was hype, it's down. Everything is down when no one's talking about it. But when hype comes back, what do you think happens? If you were paying attention when no one was at the bottom, that's when everything is going to just pump to oblivion. And especially that's where you do your research, is when things are down bad. I'm not saying that, runes are going to zero, nothing like that. Some of them will. Like, this market is unbelievably speculative. You're betting on a literal phrase here, right? And trying to make money off of it. Like, it's very high risk. I've never claimed that it's not high risk, and you guys need to understand that going into it. But sometimes the best thing to do is just watch and let it play out, and just get up to date, learn how to do it. You don't have to be jumping into every single coin like Nuggets Burger here, just because it's minting out, it doesn't mean it's going to be anything, right? So, I just want you guys to understand that. It's like I have a long-term thesis with why I love Runes and why I think anything on top of Bitcoin has a ton of growth coming in the next few months, if not a year from now. Because the top meme coins on Bitcoin will get unbelievable attention, and I think some of the best and top meme coins will come from Runes. Now, are they out right now? I don't know. I'm seeing Satoshi Nakamoto, by general consensus on social media, seems like the Ordi of Runes. Ordi was the first ever BRC20 coin, and that went to multi-billions in valuation, right? Or maybe 1 point something billion, I don't know. And that's because people, when they minted it, they got in early, they spent, few $10, $20, to mint a good chunk. That flipped into multi-5 figures, 6 figures, some probably 7 figures, from $20 type thing. But obviously that was BRC20s. There was close to zero volume, when people were minting that stuff out. So it's way different because the volume was nuts on Runes here. But that's my thesis on a lot of this, and I loved BRC20s before, betting on utility projects. Again, because you're betting on, infrastructure on top of Bitcoin. I absolutely love that. I think Bitcoin, if there's real strong infrastructure in the future on it, that's where I'm trying to put my money personally. I want to see Bitcoin become the biggest chain of it in and of itself. Maybe native Bitcoin can't do too much because of how slow it is, whatever its functionality, but if there's a lot of different chains, different software projects that can assist with that in different ways, or just meme coins here, things that could push innovation on Bitcoin, that's what I'm betting on. That's mainly why I love Runes. Like, yeah, it's insanely high risk, but you're basically betting on the future of Bitcoin, by being here. So again, keep all this stuff in mind when you're jumping into Runes, you're thinking about getting in, or if you're just like, oh, the Runes is stupid, I don't want to jump in, whatever. Just keep that in mind. It's again, insanely high risk, but you also don't need to risk any money if you don't want to. You can throw some money at it if you want, So that's what I got for you guys. I kind of just went into a tangent. But again, I'm betting on Bitcoin very heavily, for the cycle also, to think that Bitcoin's not going to just eventually make a new high, go into price discovery again. Personally, you're kind of betting against Bitcoin itself right now. That's my thesis before, any sort of exits in the market. I want to see Bitcoin at new highs. It doesn't mean it's going to happen in a month, right? It could be 6, 7 months from now, but at some point it will. And that's what I'm betting on. So that's what I got for you guys today. A bunch of random stuff thrown at you, but I hope you found some value out of this, and I will see you in the next video. So thank you.